What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Gamer's Place, and in today's video I want to talk about the impressive and possible port of Cronos the New Dawn to the Nintendo Switch 2, and all the information you kind of just need to know about it before you jump in terms of performance and all that type of stuff. So stay tuned to the end if you want to know everything, including some comparisons to the other systems. But let's go ahead and hop right into it by talking about the frame rate. Now, of course, I know everybody's going to be a little bit disappointed that it's a 30 FPS game. Now, I know that this sucks compared to other consoles, which will probably have higher frames. In fact, they do for sure on performance modes, like PS5 goes to 60 on performance and stuff like that, even with visual hits. But that is the main reason why I think this port is really good, because honestly, I don't know about you guys, but I didn't expect this game to run whatsoever on Nintendo Switch 2. I didn't think this was going to come at all, and it was a big shock to me when it was in the third-party direct. So having it at 30 FPS to me is completely fine. It's playable. It's really fun, but just know that it's going to feel a little bit slower and a little bit more sluggish than your PS5, Xbox Series X type experience. And the next thing I wanted to talk about was the resolution, because this is using upscaling, where it upscales to 1080p from 540p to 635p. So you can tell a little bit that it is using an upscaler, but it's nothing distracting, nothing bad to a point where you look at the screen and you go, ew, or any of that. It's never a massive turnoff from wanting to play the game on the Switch 2 compared to other devices. And I will say this, it looks pretty dang good still for a game that is using upscaling at a lower resolution for power purposes. So if you enjoy these games on handheld, I believe that the resolution will do a good job for you here. So next I want to talk about how it can kind of affect gameplay in a way depending on who you are, and this is despite some graphical sacrifices, which you can immediately notice. I'm gonna be honest, like there are some textures that are a little bit downgraded and things of that nature to make it work and run on the Nintendo Switch 2, and you can tell right away. I'm gonna be honest, it does look a little bit worse than the PS5 and the Xbox Series X versions. And that is because that you are playing on a lower power profile. And you got to remember that when you're playing on a 20 watt machine compared to like a 220 watt PS5, you're going to be having a little bit less in terms of performance. Actually, in a lot of ways, you're going to have a lot less. You're going to have a lot less textures, and a lot of these things just completely downgraded to make the game work. For the version of this game to be as good as it was compared to like an Xbox Series X and S and stuff of that nature, I think it is a really impressive and possible port, because they gave us 30 frames. The game still looks really good, especially in handheld mode, and while you can tell that there's an upscaler and you can tell these things are happening, it's never a massive distraction from enjoying the game and enjoying the atmosphere and the horror elements of the game. But I did want to bring up this because there are some hits on the eerie atmosphere a little bit. Like, obviously, if you're playing on a PS5 or an Xbox Series X and S, you're going to get a little bit more tension, a little bit more scares, just because everything looks better and everything in the environment just feels a little bit more alive because it has better textures and things of that nature sometimes. So if that matters to you, you may want to play on a different platform than Nintendo Switch 2. I'll be completely honest with you. But if you're like me and you just want a really cool horror game that can scare your pants off on the go, then I think that this is a really good port in terms of performance and how the game looks. It is a really impressive and possible port, and I honestly want to give Cronos the New Dawn's developers a big round of applause for what they've been able to pull off here. Because you got to remember, this is a 20 watt machine compared to a 220 watt machine with a PS5 and Xbox Series X. So this machine is significantly less powered, and this is also a handheld hybrid. I think a lot of people forget this, that this is not a TV only system that you play plugged in all the time. This is actually a system you're mostly going to play in handheld mode that has to worry about a battery and all that type of stuff so that it can stay alive and not die in 5 seconds. So there's a lot of things that go into this that make the Nintendo Switch 2 version very impressive. But my overall thoughts on this are that this is a really good port. So if you guys wanted to play Cronos the New Dawn on Nintendo Switch 2 and you want it on the go, or maybe it's your only system, I actually highly recommend it. I think that this is a very, very good game, and I also think this is a very, very good port of a very good game. So if that sounds good to you, be sure to pick it up, because I actually think that you're going to really enjoy Cronos the New Dawn. I think it's a great time. I think it is really cool, really fun, and it will give you some scares, and it is one of the most creative horror games that we have played in a while over here at the Gamer's Place. So, if you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to drop a like and comment your thoughts down below on Cronos, and be sure to subscribe to the channel for more awesome videos just like this one. We break down Steam Deck ports, Nintendo Switch ports, and we give you lists for best games on Steam Deck, best games on Switch 2. We give you everything that you would ever want for these amazing handhelds that you guys are going to be able to enjoy and consume and learn if you can play these games at good visuals and good frame rates. So we really want to be able to have you guys here with us when we make these videos. So be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss another upload. And without any further ado, peace.